Loneliness. I wanted to ask you something a bit serious if you don't mind. You said that a lot of guys are afraid of you because you are wealthier than most of them, and most guys don't want to date you because they are not comfortable with your job. Do you ever feel sad and lonely? Oh, that's sad. I've had some trouble dating guys because I'm financially successful. People will want to date me just because I'm a famous porn star. That makes it really challenging to find people who are authentically interested in being with me. I've dated guys who are just really insecure, where like midway through the date, they asked me if I knew their name. Say my name, say my name. This has happened to me multiple times. In the middle of our date, they're like, do you remember my name? And I was like, oh my God. And for a second, I did forget his name. It made me question myself, and I was like, do I know his name? It's fucking shitty. I've had guys on the third date tell me, I'm gonna get you to quit porn. To have the audacity to ask me to quit my job is so fucked. I dated a guy for over 2 years. The main struggle of our relationship was that I do porn. It wasn't until we broke up that he told me that sometimes he didn't want to kiss me. Moving forward after that, I've dealt with it again and again and again. There are perks and benefits to being a sex worker in the dating world, because if I was a teacher, I would never know how you would treat a stripper or a sex worker or a porn star. Because I am a porn star, I get to have this filter that puts people through the garbage disposal, because I'm like, you are a rotten person, go down the drain. Dating is hard in general for everyone. Being a sex worker adds to it. So will I ever settle down? I hope so. Do I feel sad and lonely? Yeah. 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 I think that a lot of like mainstream media and television and movies and books makes it seem like we're all gonna have this beautiful love story. I don't believe in that. I don't think it's a reality to think that everyone gets this happy ending fairy tale thing. A lot of times I'm like totally content and tell myself like, I'll spend my old days and my retirement money on a dog sanctuary. I'll be the crazy lady who has 100 dogs and they will bring me all of the happiness that I need in the world, because sometimes I'm like, fuck people. Oh, dating sucks. I'm thinking about getting into the industry, and I wasn't sure how my family was going to take it. I was wondering how your family handled you entering the adult industry. That is always a hard one, because one, everyone's family is different. Most of the times, people's families handle it very negatively.
It'll make you wish you weren't even born.
Almost all of my friends' parents were not very supportive, and even still to this day are not supportive.
Parents are gross, parents are gross.
Some of their parents kind of just slowly changed their mind. This is your life, so like, you should do the things that you want to do. With me personally, my mom was supportive in the beginning. She kind of just let me do whatever. Not that I think it was a good thing. I had a lot of freedom. As time progressed and I became successful, I started to feel like my mom was using me so that she could live a more luxurious lifestyle. When I started to set like these boundaries, not giving her money or things like that, it made our relationship a bit more difficult and almost toxic. I really felt like she was just trying to take full advantage of me. I don't talk to my mom now anymore. I've tried to reach out to her to have these like conversations of value, because I want to like be able to have a relationship of substance. I want to be able to talk about our problems. She just isn't willing to understand where I'm coming from. I think that she's too prideful and doesn't want to admit that she was wrong, and doesn't want to admit that how she treated me and what she asked of me was really inappropriate from a mother. And so it sucks. I don't have a mom anymore. I don't talk to her. I miss having a mom. I feel like you can't rewind and you can't go back. I don't have that relationship with her anymore. I don't ever think I will. And that bums me out. Bums me out a lot. I talked to my dad, and he struggles with my job being in the industry. He's also religious. Recently, I wanted to go visit him, and he said that I can't go visit because his wife, my stepmom, doesn't want me there. I'm not allowed to go visit my dad anymore because my stepmom doesn't like that I do porn. But then he told me that when I was like, can we like go get coffee and like we could go like get breakfast, and he's like, I don't want to be seen in public with you.
What? Oh no!
And that just fucking hurt so bad, and it sucks. I lost my family. I don't talk to like my brothers or sisters. I think that they all kind of like try to take advantage of me and stuff, or they're just like, my dad don't want to be around me. Oh, I feel sad. I've lost my whole family and it sucks. So a lot of times when people ask me if they should do porn, I tell them no. I tell them that it makes life really hard. It makes dating really hard. It makes your family life really hard. It makes intimacy hard. If you're putting yourself out there and the world is now judging you, you have to be okay with being shamed every day of your life. I don't even want to have children because I do porn, because I'm worried of the way that people will treat my child. The fact that these are things that I think about because the people are so fucking shitty sucks. I don't know. A lot of times I tell people you shouldn't do porn because there's just a lot of negatives that come out of it, and you have to be a really strong person to be able to be okay with it. I know nothing about the real insides of the porn industry, but have you ever had some scary experiences in your line of work? You clearly run your own show at this point, but the road sounds long and hard, pun intended. I think that one of the scariest experiences that I've had in porn is whenever we have an HIV outbreak. It's fucking terrifying. A lot of times I don't even like to think about that. Having sex in general, you can contract the virus HIV/AIDS. When we have an HIV outbreak in the industry, the whole industry shuts down and nobody is working and people are getting tested like over and over and over and over again just to make sure that everyone is clean and clear. Those are always my scariest moments of when the industry shuts down. I'm always afraid to get the phone call of being like, you're on the quarantine list. You've been exposed to the virus. You've worked with someone who has HIV. Thank the universe that I have never been on one of these quarantine lists, and I hope that I never am. It's fucking real and it's scary, and I think that's the scariest, realest thing that I've personally gone through. We get tested a lot and we do everything we can in the industry, but you still can't help the fact that some people do drugs, people put other people at risk. You put a lot of faith and trust into the people you work with. You can only hope that the people you're working with are also safe. What are some of your ideas on changing the view that society has on sex? They've done these studies with people where they put someone in a virtual reality and they had them chop down a tree. And then afterwards, because they went through the virtual physical experience of chopping down a tree, they then later used less paper. So my idea is if there was some sort of virtual reality that could put people in the shoes of an adult sex worker, then maybe it would change the way that people treated us. I have multiple ideas on this virtual reality. So one of them is you're a porn star with a baby and you're on the street and people are shaming you. Maybe if people realize how fucking shitty they were, then they wouldn't be this way and they would see how it affects someone. If you were put in a simulation to where you're a porn star and you get these like, you know, horrible emails and messages and you get these mean DMs and you see how people treat you, then maybe you wouldn't treat porn stars so bad. Like that's an idea that I have.